Israel-Palestine has had a long, complicated history of war, conflict and bloodshed going back decades. This is a subject that needs to be treated with sensitivity and to be discussed as calmly and as rationally as possible by experts who know the history of this terrible conflict. That's why it was so welcome that Mia Khalifa waded into the debate. Because if there's one thing this situation needs, it's a former porn star voicing her support for Hamas. I'm no Islamic scholar, but even I know that Hamas might not be the biggest fans of Mia's back catalogue. I can't imagine Hamas sit down after a hard day's murdering and kidnapping to enjoy teens love black cocks and big tits round arses 5, and if they do, they'd probably keep it on the down low. Osama bin Laden didn't advertise the fact that he loved a porno mag as it would dilute the message. It's very difficult to scream about jihad and death to the infidels when everyone knows you're partial to reading the odd copy of Razzle on the toilet. As a comedian, I'm devastated that I'll never write a joke as good as Queers for Palestine. You could put the greatest comedians of all time in a room and they'd never write a line as good as that. I'm looking forward to their offshoots, Blacks for Apartheid and Jews for Adolf. If I was gay, the first place I would move to would be an Islamic theocracy. Why wouldn't you want to live in countries that endorse gay men being thrown off buildings? Although the Israelis have solved that problem because pretty soon there will be no buildings left in Palestine. BLM came out and were as principled and moderate as they always are. BLM Chicago tweeted a picture of a Hamas paraglider with the words, "I stand with Palestine." It's almost like they weren't the good guys. There's nothing wrong with the words, "I stand with Palestine." Just maybe don't tweet it after a massacre of civilians. And probably leave out the image of the terrorist paragliders who committed the massacre, as that just might upset people. One of the leaders of Hamas lives in a council flat in London. This is an absolute disgrace. If the leader of a hugely corrupt international terror organisation can't afford to buy his own place, you know the housing crisis really is out of control. What's the point of rising to the very top of your field, orchestrating attacks that murder thousands of innocent civilians if you can't afford a nice little 2-bed in Shoreditch? This country's gone to the dogs. Where's the incentive to work hard? There have been demonstrations every Saturday in London ever since the terrorist attack in Israel. The far right say, "We want our country back." Sod the country. I want my city back. I want to be able to buy an overpriced coffee and give passive-aggressive stink eye to slow walkers without having entire sections of my city blocked off while people chant "from the river to the sea." If you chant "from the river to the sea," you have an IQ of 43. Stop chanting slogans that you don't understand. Just because it rhymes doesn't mean it's good. Pro-Palestine protesters accosted Michael Gove, the Minister for Housing, and chanted, "Shame on you for not doing something about Gaza." He can't even get a few council flats built, and you think he's going to sort out the Middle East? That's like asking an incel to lose his virginity in a gangbang. There were also a significant element of these protesters with anti-Semitic placards chanting openly racist slogans. Things got so ugly that at one point it looked like the Labour Party conference. Jeremy Corbyn even turned up, reminding us of the glory days of the 2019 general election and that 32% landslide. One man even openly praised Hitler.
Hitler knew how to deal with these people.
As we all know, Adolf didn't like the Jews. But I doubt he'd be a massive fan of Muslims either. I'm sure he wouldn't look at a mosque and think, now there's a group of people I like and respect, apart from their attitude to the Jews. And in that respect, they'd get on like a synagogue on fire. We also had football hooligans turning up to defend the statues. As a child of the 80s in South London, it was quite comforting to see my old next door neighbours indulging in what they do best, channeling their rage at their divorce into beating up the police. I want the number of Hamas's PR guy. Whoever does their PR is a genius. Imagine staging an attack that kills and injures thousands of innocent civilians and then millions of people celebrate you for being freedom fighters. I need that guy to sell my next tour. Everything and everyone is now political. I'm half expecting to click on Pornhub and see a banner that says, "We stand with Israel." Of course, that's a joke. Pornhub are pro-BLM. There's no way you can be both pro-BLM and pro-Israel. Israel are oppressors for burning Gaza to the ground, while BLM are heroes for setting Portland on fire in 2020. During the height of the summer of 2020, Pornhub recorded a porn film where one of the actresses in the throes of ecstasy moaned, BLM. Maybe in 2023 they can show support for the Middle East by employing an actress with a great set of Tel Avivs who has a nicely trimmed Gaza Strip moaning that she wants a man to touch her Bibi Netanyahu. The police have lost their minds too. When asked why they won't arrest people calling for jihad in the street, they explain that jihad has many meanings. Basically, they have no idea what jihad is, which is understandable, given they have no idea what a criminal is either. In London, you can pretty much do what you want as a criminal, provided you don't misgender someone on Twitter. The only way they're going to catch a sex offender is if they employ them. The police also covered themselves in glory by employing an advisor that led the chant of, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." Many people have found this offensive. I, however, am delighted that the Met have appointed someone with a high enough IQ that they're able to learn a rhyme. Spare a thought for the ordinary person in all of this who now has to pretend to know what he's talking about when it comes to this sensitive topic. And by person, I of course mean men. There's no way any self-respecting male can say the words, "I don't know," in any type of conversation. You need to be able to give a measured, well-informed opinion on every topic, whether it's the Middle East, what type of dementia Joe Biden has, and which trans woman you'd have sex with. Monroe Bergdorf. In the past few years, we've had to become experts on Brexit, epidemiology, virology, immunology, Russian politics, and now this? I miss the days when all we had to know about was football and got a round of applause for being able to correctly identify what emotion we were feeling. Now, unless you know the intimate details of Benjamin Netanyahu's sock drawer and what type of muesli he eats before launching rockets, then you're a heartless bastard who doesn't care about people suffering. Woe betide you if you have Jewish left-wing friends or you have a pro-Palestinian girlfriend. You'll have to get your story straight for both parties if you want to avoid an argument or get laid. You can't wear a Palestinian flag to your Jewish mate's birthday. But if you wear it in Harvard, then you might well hook up with a student who's pro-Palestine and believes that sex work is real work. And what's really important in this brutal conflict are the lives of Palestinian trans women. So, remember to be on the right side of history. Wear your mask, take your booster, put your pronouns in your bio, and wave your Palestinian flag in the air like you just don't care. Just be aware of your surroundings, otherwise you will be asked to leave the synagogue. Before you go, let me take a minute to recommend a longevity supplement by Verso. In our recent interview with Tim Urban, he said this about longevity.
We should be talking about longevity and longevity science.
Researchers like the biologist David Sinclair have recently made some fascinating discoveries on how to mitigate or even slow down aging altogether, and that's why I am using Verso. Verso is a company that translates these incredible scientific breakthroughs into products that hold the potential to increase your longevity, and one of their products that I take every day is called Cell Being. Cell Being helps combat aging by increasing something called NAD+ in your body. Now, NAD is arguably the most important molecule in your body. High NAD levels improve your metabolism, repairs damaged DNA, and increases energy production in your brain, immune system, and muscles. But as you grow old, your body's NAD levels go down, and you can't take NAD as a supplement because it's too big for your cells to absorb. That's why Verso Cell Being contains NMN, resveratrol, and TMG. These three molecules work together to increase NAD+ levels. If you want to read more about this, check out the scientific research linked in the description of this video. Plus, Verso publishes third-party testing on every batch of its products to guarantee that you're getting exactly what you're paying for. So, if you want to join me, you can get 15% off by going to ver.so. That's ver.so and use code TRIGGER to save 15% off your order. And if you've enjoyed this video, watch me take down woke Hollywood here.